What's up, y'all? It's Truth Tiger, and today I'm going to talk about negative and positive people. And, positive people will raise your energy, and negative people will lower your energy. And not only that, but the results and the outcomes of your life are very intimately tied to the kind of people that you're around. I mean, I'm serious. Everything from your finances, your physical health, your mental health, your relationships, whatever, it all really comes down to, not all of it at all, but a big part of that comes down to the people that you're around and the people that surround you. There is a component that is your own individual will, and ultimately through your own individual will, you choose the people that you hang around, or at least you influence the people that you hang around. And a lot of things do just come down to your own individual will. It's not, the people around you aren't everything, but they have a huge impact on what kind of mood you're in. Are you in a good mood or a bad mood? If you're around a bunch of negative people, you're going to be in a bad mood. If you're around positive, happy people, you're going to be in a good mood. Same with your money. If you're around a bunch of negative people, they're going to be asking to borrow money, or they're going to be just dragging you down and this and that. And if you're around good people, they're going to help you find jobs. They're going to give you good advice, help you with investments, steer you in the right direction. Same with physical health. Just the stress of being around negative people. I've talked about this in other videos, and I'll expand upon it more, but just the stress of that will put you in dysregulation. You'll start sleeping bad, you'll have headaches, you could have autoimmune diseases, health issues can start to come up. Whereas if you're around positive people, your body's not going to be in a state of stress, and your health will be good. You'll be healthy, you'll be doing good, And then relationships is the most obvious one. If you're around negative people, those are the people you're going to end up in relationships with, be it a friendship or a romantic relationship or whatever. Positive people, you're going to have good positive friendships, good positive relationships, a positive marriage, a positive family, whatever, But the caveat of this and the tough part of this is that there's a lot more negative people than there are positive people, and most negative people will try to masquerade and pretend to be a positive person, and most of us are going to be born into families that are negative. We're going to be born into a negative world, a negative situation, a negative system, and, the overarching system of society, the overarching status quo, the overarching matrix, whatever you want to call it, is negative. So the overall forces of this world are, unfortunately, when you start out, it's going to be a lot of negativity. That's just what it's going to be in the very beginning for most people, is a lot of negativity. And it's your parents, and the world as a whole threw you into this big hole, and you have to find your way out somehow, and that's what it starts at. And that's where we as people generally start out at. And if you want good outcomes in life, you're going to have to get away from these bad people and find good people. I'm going through that right now. And I just got a text from a good person, actually, while I'm recording this video. So I'm finding good people, I am. But, I had to really make a very strong decision, no narcissists, no toxic people, no BS. I had to really make that decision and be very, very firm on it. Even my own family, even my own parents, as hard as that is. And I can talk about that in other videos, but even my own parents, as hard as that is, I'm not going to deal with their negativity, Negative coworkers, no, Weird neighbors, no, just fake people, moving around all funny. No. And, good discernment is required. And, okay. Oh my gosh, this driving's just crazy. I'm trying to go off into a turn lane and some other guy's turning the other way in it. Man. But yeah, like, you got to get out from these negative people. You got to recognize them. You got to know what's going on with them. You got to recognize the signs and see what's up with it, because if you don't, you could get tricked very easily, and they can pretend to be a good person, but really they are a bad person. And beyond discernment is just like self-esteem. Having good self-esteem to where you value yourself, to where it's like you have the strength to walk away from BS, where you can say, I'm not putting up with this, I'm more valuable than this. I'm worth more than this crappy narcissistic treatment. I'm worth more than this, You have to have that deep inside you. You have to have that self-esteem deep inside you. And then you got to be like an individual. If you see yourself just as an extension of other people, you're not going to individuate. You're not going to say, well, I'm my own person. I can do my own thing. I'm going to have to do that. If you're so like, you only see yourself as other people, you go, well, I'm not an individual. And, you're not going to really be able to even take that first step forward, because it's going to, like, your whole identity is wrapped up in other people. And you got to do those three things. You got to recognize, you got to have self-esteem, and you got to be an individual. You have to. There's no other choice. And once you can do those things, you can start to have room for positive people in your life. And I've always had some positive people come in and give a helping hand and, show up when I need them or whatever. Like, I've had those angels in my life. I have. I'm not going to say I haven't, but to actually have positive people be like my close people, like a close friend who's very positive, a good girlfriend, wife, whatever, romantic partner, positive, to have that, and then to have, just a positive family, a positive tribe, a positive friend group come out of that. That's what you want. But you have to be very selective, because for every one positive person, there's like 20 negative people, and you have to sort through those negative people and, turn them down and say, you're not coming in my life. No way, no how, not here. No way, no how, not here. You have to have that, and you have to sort through them, because just like I said earlier, the positive people are rare, and the negative people are very, very abundant. And a lot of people who are negative people try to look as positive or as nice as they can, but it's a deception. It's a smokescreen. Don't buy it. So you have to see through the smoke screens. You have to be able to sort through everybody. And then once you do that, you can have positive people. And it takes time, There was some times about a year ago where, I had sort of figured out the negative people, and I'd gotten my own discernment and self-esteem and individuation right, but I meet someone new, they seem cool, and then a few days later, a week later, a few hours later, whatever, something comes up. They do something weird. They're talking about me behind my back. They just get really jealous out of nowhere. Or they just all of a sudden are cool, but then they're talking a bunch of trash to me out of nowhere. And, some of these people I thought were genuinely cool, but I had to just say, all right, this person's not it. And, it hurt emotionally, because I was like, man, well, I finally have some positive people. Well, I finally get some good people in my life, And I had to realize, like, all right, these people ain't it, They're not it. But the good thing is, I was not relying on those people. I was not tied into those people. I was not stuck with those people. I could easily say, well, I don't need to hang out with this guy anymore. Well, this girl's not going to work out for me. Boom. And now I'm at a place in my life where I'm like genuinely making new friends, you know, talking to a very cool girl right now, and just like, you know, finding people in my personal life who I can help out with narcissists and stuff like that, and I can, you know, teach stuff to and show them the way, not just on YouTube but in my personal life. And it's just like, man, you know, this is awesome. Things are starting to get awesome, because those positive people, they give. You know, those positive people give to you. And those positive people, like all the crap that the narcissists and the negative people stole from me, all that like stuff where like they held me back, they doubted on me, they tried to mess with my self-confidence, they just like took up my time and energy with drama, they dragged me into fights and arguments, they disrespected me, they just, all the stuff they did, it's like the positive people are now doing the opposite. They're respecting my free time. They're not needy or clingy or weird. They're cool. I don't have to like feel like, oh, I gotta text her right back. If I don't text her right back, she's gonna think something bad. Or I don't have to deal with that. I don't have to deal with weird, jealous homeboys who are like looking to like whatever turn against me any moment they can get. You know, I don't have to deal with that. I don't. And you know, I'm having the opposite now where I got positive people who are looking out for me. I have people who are, you know, people who are just telling me about certain jobs and stuff that could be helpful. You know, just stuff like that. People who are just kind of telling me, you know, just little things here and there that are like just good, just very solid and positive. Give me a sec here, folks. I got a left turn here. But yeah, and I'm not talking about the fake way where narcissists will, oh, I'll hook you up, bro, this, that, whatever. I'm not talking about the love bombing and all the smoke they blow up your butt, you know. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about people actually, you know, having good stuff for you and, you know, it being real and solid, you know. And just a side note, like back in the day, like, whenever I tell a friend something about like, I could get you a job here, I could do this, I could do that, I'll hook you up with this or that, and then when I'd show up and it was all for real, I've had so many people say this to me, we're like, oh my God, Truth Tiger, that was for real? You weren't just blowing smoke up my butt? You weren't just BSing me? I'm just trying not to curse here, but you weren't just BSing me, Truth Tiger? You were for real? The job was actually true? The deal was actually true? You actually came and picked me up on time? You know, these people you introduced me to were legit? What? You know, like, yeah. Because, you know, I've always been solid in one way or another when I was younger, you know. I have the knowledge and the wisdom and the strength now, but that seed was always in me. And, you know, people were very deeply surprised by the fact that, you know, I was not just a total lie. I was not some lying fool clown who was just pretending to have hookups and have things and, you know, have like, you know, I got a hookup for you, you know. How many times have I heard that lie, you know? But where my hookups are real. And now I got other people on my level whose hookups are real. And it's not just some big joke or some big game or some way they can use to have me owe them a favor or some bull crap like that. It's for real. And like, I don't need to have stress in the back of my mind that like, what if this fool does something to, you know, does something to screw me over or whatever, or I don't have to think about that anymore. Those thoughts are out of my mind. I'm just thinking about now, like, building new friendships, building new community, you know? I'm just thinking about now just building out my life and, you know, getting my energy better because, like, I can tell you, like, you know, like, I don't want to get too into my nitty-gritty personal life or whatever, but, like, you know, I met a nice girl. We've been doing our thing, and Like, I've had the best workouts in the gym. I've been in such a better mood than usual. I'm like, I feel healthier than usual. Like, my stomach's not hurting as bad. Like, I feel like my health issues aren't bothering me as much. And it's like, dang, it's just this positive person is like giving me fuel. Whereas before it was the opposite. Like, everything is being reduced and, pulled from and drained from. And I'm in a bad mood because I had some coworker start drama out of nowhere. And then some family members texting me about some BS. And then I have to call this person back and and then, now it's like, well, do I even want to go to the gym, or I'm just too stressed out, or, just before you know it, it's just like, it's just like I can't even do anything. I'm so burnt out. But now it's like I have so much energy and I'm getting so much done, and, things are just so positive, and things are just like so much better, and I'm like so much happier, and I can literally feel like healing coming. Like, my spirit is just getting stronger. I feel closer to God. Like, it's no joke. It really is no joke. And those good people exist. You just have to have the space for them. And you have to sort through and make sure they're good people for real. They exist. And they can be a fixture in your life. And you and them can be permanently attached. Like, how good is it to be around a cool person versus like how bad it is to be around a bad person? Like, hanging around cool people who are nice and loving and kind is just awesome. It's awesome. It's amazing. It's like a great way to spend your time. It's just like you feel so much better afterwards. You feel refreshed and energized. You want to stay up all night talking. You're just like, man, I feel great being around these good people. I never want to leave, whereas being around bad people, it's just like, it's so draining and it's so negative. And like, I'm hanging out with these people for 5 minutes and I'm like, I want to go already. I'm already trying to find excuses, I'm already trying to like get a way out of it or whatever, just so I can just leave this situation, And that really is the case. Like, like if you're, I don't know, if you're like at work or whatever, you get put on a project with someone who sucks, who's just like awful, it's going to be, you get assigned to work with someone who's terrible. Like, I haven't quit a job, but I've seen a lot of people, they just quit. Like, I've seen that multiple times where people just, they can't deal with the narcissism and the toxicity and the games and the BS, and they just throw their hands up and quit. I've literally seen that happen multiple times where people have that toxic coworker or whatever, and as usual, nobody's helping them, nobody's supporting them, whatever. Maybe it's kind of a private thing, they don't want to talk about it with people, whatever, I don't know. But I've seen it so many times where it's just, why did homie quit? Well, there's other coworker was toxic, we don't know, whatever, and yeah. And like, one note I want to make about good people is like, there's some people who are like, they have their feet underneath them the same way you do, and they're like spiritually aware the same way you are. Those people are very rare. And then there's people who are maybe not as that, but like they have a good heart and they have good intentions and stuff. And, not everyone's going to be like a high level spiritual operator, narcissist hunter, whatever. Not everybody's going to be on your level in every single way, but as long as they are genuinely good-hearted people and they're cool to be around, that's probably good enough. The problem is with those kind of people, though, is if you're actively like in the middle of dealing with a narcissist, they can sometimes be swayed. So you do need to be careful with the kind of people who are nice but don't really know better. You got to be very careful with them when you're in the middle of dealing with a narcissist or something. But once you're kind of in that state of power and you have your 2 feet underneath you, it will become safe to hang around the people who are nice but kind of don't know better. But even so, there's a lot of people that are like there's people I know who are elevated the way I am, that I just met randomly, just in a totally random way, in a random place, and we got talking, and you know, I'm telling them about narcissists, and I'm telling them about spirituality and stuff, and they're on the same page as me, and I'm like, dang, you know, and they understand about, like, you know, not everybody conceptualizes them as narcissists, but they understand that, like, most people are just like these fake trash people, you know? They get it. So I'm telling y'all, don't give up right now. Keep fighting, keep hustling, keep going, keep grinding, keep doing it. You know, you will find those good people. You will have those good people in your life. Just keep doing the work and it'll happen. All right. God bless. Much love. I'm out.